Simon, hello everyone. Welcome to or welcome back to the channel. I hope that you are all doing well. So let's dig into today's topic. Black women are... Here we go. Black women are champions. Black women have defeated, surpassed, and have consistently come in number one in the following: hypertension, breast cancer, heart disease, diabetes, specifically diabetes type 2. And what I haven't listed for you on this particular page are some other things, including obesity, ranked number 1. Menopause symptoms, also ranked number 1. We experience menopause symptoms earlier and longer. And also STDs. Now, I'm not listing any of this to scare you or to fearmonger you or to make you feel bad, but I think it's time we had some serious conversations and discussions about what we're going to do about all of these things that we're ranking number 1 in. This is something we need to seriously talk about, and that's what I want to do with you today. And I want to talk to you about 4 particular things that we're going to try to do. So let's dig in. So what we're going to do is we're going to first talk about, at a high level, how we're going to approach it. And we're going to approach it using the FIRE method. It's a new marker, so bear with me. Hope you got all that. So this is the FIRE method. First thing that we need to do as women, as Black women, because we know that we are having a lot of issues in our health and with our health, we're going to first face reality. That's F. We need to face reality. If you haven't already gone into a room by yourself and wrote out all of the things that you're struggling with, or that you might be struggling with, or that maybe you know a Black woman who is struggling with, now is the time to face and accept reality. There's no shortcuts at this point in time. And so what I want us to do is to take a really hard look at how we're living our lives and what's going on in our lives that have been pushing us over the edge for many years. Now, I know with healthcare, there are certain things that are external to us: poor systems, lack of access, racist institutions. I understand these things. There are also some internal things, which is what I want to talk to you about today and figure out how we can change the narrative internally for ourselves so that we can live longer and live better. Not just live longer, but also live healthily, live longer in a health matter. And so facing reality is one thing that we really need to do. Now, when you face reality, you're going to accept what's going on within your life. So it's all about acceptance. No more denying the fact that many of us are living unhealthily. So we need to accept what's going on. We need to accept what's going on. And once we accept what's going on, we start to then think about ways in which we can help ourselves. So one of the things in which I often encourage women to do is to, at a baseline, know where you are in terms of your blood pressure, for example. Do you know your blood pressure? When was the last time you checked your blood pressure? Do you have high blood pressure? Do you have deathly high blood pressure? Also, if you're over 40 or if you have a family history of breast cancer, when was the last time you had a mammogram? And if you have dense breast tissue, do you know that there are some other alternatives, or there are some things that, for example, the Menopause Society would recommend you do in addition to a mammogram? If you have family history of heart disease, how have you been approaching that? Have you taken that into consideration? The American Heart Association has said that 60% of Black women over the age of 20 are at risk for heart disease. That's a very high number. And also with obesity, also with type 2 diabetes. Now, I talk about type 2 diabetes because those are the things it's not immune related. We're not talking about type 1 diabetes where there's no production of insulin. And by the way, this is a pancreas. It's not a slice of pizza, just to be clear on that. Because these things you can control in some way, shape, or form. That internal factor is what I'm talking about. Same thing with obesity, STDs, chlamydia, is the number one disease that Black people are experiencing in terms of sexually transmitted diseases. And then menopause. I talk about menopause a lot on my channel. I have a playlist so that if you're interested, please check that out and understand. So yeah, at a baseline, when you're facing reality and when you're accepting the reality that it is, you have to know where you stand. You have to be able to say, yes, this is my situation, not that. It's not only about you not feeling well or that you're being stressed out. There could be some really serious underlying health issues, and I want you to understand and know where you are in terms of all of these things because they are killers. These things are killers. So no delaying. January 2025, go ahead and set up your appointments, get some blood work, get your mammogram if you haven't already gotten your mammogram. I didn't put a colonoscopy up here, but if you're over the age of 45 or have a family history of colon cancer, you need to have had your colonoscopy appointment already set up, amongst other things. These are just some ideas that I'm throwing out at you so that I want you to understand that now is a time, if you haven't already before, to take your health seriously. Because I want you to win and I want you to be healthy, but not in, I don't want you to win in this. I want you to win at life, but I don't want you to win in disease, right? So we're going to move past that. Now, after you've faced your reality and you've gotten your health appointments, so you have your health appointments, you have gotten your blood work, you know your status, from everything from your BMI to your body fat percentage to you have gotten all the STD tests that you needed to get done. You know your systolic over diastolic, you know your blood pressure, you know where you stand in terms of that. Now it's time for the I in fire. Now the I in fire is implement change. It's one thing to know your status and where you are with your health, but it's another thing to actually move forward and implement change. Now, a lot of you watching have faith. You believe in a higher being, you believe in God, but faith without action won't get you anywhere. You can't pray your way out of diabetes. You really need to start implementing specific things that are going to make you healthier. And that could look like a lot of things. There's no one easy fix. So I want to talk about some of the changes that are doable for you or feasible for you, but I also want you to consider doing this at a paced rate, not to overexert yourself and not to implement so many things so fast that you end up becoming overwhelmed. And I've spoken about this before because I know that if you change your diet, start exercising, start doing so many things all at once, it might become too cumbersome for you. And I know that some of your providers may actually push that. They might give you medication, demand that you change your eating habits immediately, demand that you start preparing for your marathon or your 5K race, because the health is dire. But at the same rate, I know that if you're too overwhelmed, you might fall back and just give up on everything. So implementing change is going to be at your pace, but it's going to be at a realistic pace that will make you healthy. So for example, I think eliminating a certain bad food can be one of the best ways for you to start a diet overhaul. A nutritionist may have some other recommendations for you, but always think about eliminating that poorly processed food that is not helping you. So remove the bad is something you can think about doing. And then as you're removing the bad, you can introduce the good. Now, removing bad food items, removing bad habits, that is honestly, that's one of the easier things to do, in my opinion. But you might have tried that in the past and you might have a different opinion. You might think, no, it's not that easy to stop eating chips or to stop eating cookies if you're craving for it. But if you're eliminating these things bit by bit, it will become easier for you. Some of you have sugar cravings. One of the things you should do, or you should try to do, is not fall into those sugar cravings every day of the week. Maybe limit it to just eating a cookie on a Saturday or a Sunday, or building on that. Maybe you're going to eat a yogurt Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and with the yogurt, then you'll have your cookie so that you feel satiated, you feel full with the yogurt. So that cookie, you might not be able to finish that cookie. So these are just some ideas that will help you along. Other things you might need to do with removing the bad, you might need to stop eating out. That might be contributing to poor eating habits. You might need to start considering how to avoid binge eating. I've talked about binge eating, especially during the month of Ramadan, and how it's a real big problem when it comes to iftar, and we overeat during iftar after fasting the whole day. And I'm going to probably talk about it again in the future, about how to avoid binging during the month of Ramadan. But even outside of the month of Ramadan, some of you may have the issue of binge eating. So we have to talk about ways in which we can help ourselves and not binge eating. Check out my video here on binge eating when you have a moment. And then I also want to talk about reasonable lifestyle changes with regards to exercise. I have talked about on this channel going back into the gym, trying to get healthy, especially as I entered my 40s, reaching mid-40s. And it really is a good time, for me that is. And I know for some of you, it's also going to be a good time to really start to evaluate how you're handling your health, especially as you're entering menopause transition, and you're going to really need to have your stuff together as much as possible, because for some women it's more challenging, and we don't know who it's going to be challenging for until we get to that time in our life. So exercise is a big thing, and so when you implement change, remove the bad, introduce good. It could be diet, it could be exercise, and I want you to just consider what the change you're going to seek that's going to be better for you, that you're going to implement. Now, moving on to the R in fire. The R in fire is to, if you can see this, remain consistent, but also to reassess and adjust when needed. That is our R in fire. Octavia E. Butler, American novelist, said, "First, forget inspiration. Habit is more dependable. Habit will help you finish and polish your stories. Inspiration won't. Habits is persistence in practice." And that's what I want to really hit home with remaining consistent, is as you're building your habit, your health habit, some things will work, some things won't work. But as long as you're consistent in building or in finding that habit for yourself, that's where your journey is going to be most fruitful for you, I believe. For me, I've done things that have not worked. I've struggled here, there with becoming healthy. Some things have almost knocked me out, but I remain consistent in trying to find what works best for me. And so that's what I want to encourage you. And I hope that I'm making sense here. I want to encourage you to remain consistent, even though those challenges will creep up in your plan. You might fall off, you might not fall off, but remain consistent in trying to find the best thing that works for you. It could be you might have started going to the gym 7 days a week and that was too much for you. So now you put it down to 3 days a week. Whatever works for you, whatever's going to help you get to your goal and on your journey of becoming healthy. There might be some unforeseen circumstances that put your plans in jeopardy or that might delay your plans. Just know that. Still keep in mind to remain consistent, and that's how you will get far. There will also be, as you're on your journey to self-improvement, the haters are going to show up to infiltrate your plan. They see what you're doing, they're not going to like it. And then the lovers will show up to also infiltrate your plan. What you need to do is to remain focused and remain consistent. The haters will come, the lovers will come. The haters will go, the lovers will go. I suggest you focus on yourself, remain consistent so that you're doing what's best for you, and we are eliminating these things from our lives once and once for all. So it's what's better for you in the long journey. It's going to look different for everybody, but you need to also just keep in mind that as you're going through your journey, don't forget to keep in mind to build habits and remain consistent. I hope I'm clear. I'm trying this new method out, so let's keep going. Okay, and then so finally, number E, finally, letter E and fire, our last but not least, lonely E, is to enjoy the process as well as embrace the process. And the reason I say this is you might start something, and then 1 month after starting something in an effort to become healthy, to become a better person, you might not see change. You might see that it's a struggle for you to drop the pounds, to build muscle, to eat healthy. But in this journey, in this process, you have to try to enjoy what you're doing for yourself. You're trying to become a better version of your previous self, or even of your present self. You're trying to become a better version of yourself, not the next person, not this person, just yourself. So why not try your best to enjoy the process? Get into the mindset of, yes, you're becoming healthy, you're changing your body, you're not going to be suffering from any of these diseases, you're not going to be breaking out of this cycle of having hypertension, of not feeling well, of heart disease. You're trying your best to stay on top of your health and making sure you're good to go with your yearly annual screenings, and that you're doing your monthly checkups for your breast health, as well as making sure you're not pre-diabetic or anywhere near diabetes. These are the things you're going to try to keep in mind as you're pursuing your journey, pursuing your health on your journey, is that yes, you're doing something good for yourself. So you're enjoying the journey, you're enjoying the process, even if things might be challenging for you at some times, because that will help you along the way. Celebrate those wins, even if it was just a pound in a month. Celebrate that win. Celebrate you trying to do something good for yourself. Also, be kind to yourself. Practice self-compassion as you're going along in this journey, because it might be tough for you and it might be easy for others. You can't really compare you cannot compare your journey to somebody else's journey. And then also give yourself grace. It's going to be really important for you to give yourself grace, because if you haven't been doing anything to become healthy over the last few years, then how are you going to jump into something and expect things to change immediately? I will share something with you. It wasn't that long ago, maybe 7 years ago, where I remember when Saturday and Sunday hit, because of a busy week, working, making sure the kids get to school and they have their food and everything like that, their lunches at school, making sure I'm okay at work. When Saturday and Sunday came, and this could be a combination of poor mismanagement, poor time management, and being busy at work and at home, but when Saturday and Sunday came around, I would wake up for Fajr, my morning prayer, and then made sure the kids were okay. I would go back to sleep till 11, 12, and then as soon as I wake up, pray my afternoon prayer, and then I would sit on my phone for hours and just scroll and scroll and scroll. It wasn't helping me. I was overweight. I wasn't happy. I was severely depressed. And like I said, there are some external factors that will be causing you to just not even care. And I get that 100%. But eventually you're going to have to make a change and decide, yes, I'm going to change myself for myself. So now, Saturday and Sunday roll around, you can meet me in the gym as soon as it opens. That's some of the things, those are some of the things you have to change for yourself. You have to be able to implement things that are going to work for you and that are going to make you more healthier. So I wanted to share this FIRE method with you. It's not the financial independence, retire early method. It's not that. It is facing your reality. It is implementing change. It is remaining consistent and reassessing if necessary, and adjusting if necessary, and it is also enjoying the process and embracing the process. We are champions. We don't need to be champions in hypertension, breast cancer, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, menopause symptoms, chlamydia. No one should be a champion in any of that. So I encourage you, Black women who are watching, or if you're watching this and you know a Black woman, maybe she's your wife, your sister, your coworker, your friend, your, all Black women, please take care of yourselves, implement FIRE today. And then if you have any questions, I'll leave a few links to a couple of health playlists that I want you to check out. And I wish you well in the new year, and I wish you wellness and health. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.